Okay, hello students. Yesterday we discussed regarding the transcription part. Today we are going to study the genetic code. So actually what is this genetic code? Genetic code काय आहे ते आपण आज पाहणार आहोत. So the first very most important that is the genetic code. So this genetic code it was cracked by Dr. Hargobind Khurana. Dr. Hargobind Khurana, he cracked this genetic code. Okay, so what he did, he cracked means what? The which codon encodes the which amino acid. That is cracked by the Dr. Hargobind Khurana, who is an Indian scientist who got Nobel Prize for his work, for his contribution, as well as the scientists like Nirenberg, then Mattei, as well as the Crick, etc. Also they contributed in the field of genetic code, in the field of genetics for cracking this genetic code. So first foremost important, the Dr. Hargobind Khurana, he cracked the genetic code and he also given the some properties of the genetic code which are very important. So the properties of genetic code. What is this genetic code? So first of all, what is this genetic code? As you know, the genetic code means what? First we discussed already this, that is the mRNA. The three nucleotides over the mRNA. Three nucleotides over the mRNA makes the one codon. Three nucleotides एकत्र करून काय बनतो? There is a one codon, and that single codon, remember this one, that one codon particularly specifies the particular amino acid. Okay, specifies the particular amino acid. So this is the codon. Such number of codons specify the number of amino acid. That makes the polypeptide chain. So that is a simple, what is that one? That is a genetic code. That is a language of the codon. So this one. So that is a codon and that specify the particular amino acid. Now this genetic code has some properties in which the genetic code is basically, as you know, it is triplet in nature. So it is very important, that is the properties of genetic code. Properties of genetic code. So ह्या genetic code च्या properties काय? So first, that is foremost very important, that is the genetic code. It is triplet in nature. How it is? It is triplet in nature. Genetic code कसा आहे? It is triplet in nature. Which means, as you know, which means that is the three nucleotides comes together and forms the one codon. So that is genetic code is triplet in nature. So the three nucleotides comes together and forms one codon. Three nucleotide comes together and forms one codon. So that's why we call it as a ट्रिपलेट इन नेचर. जेनेटिक कोड ट्रिपलेट इन नेचर आहे म्हणजे काय की तीन न्यूक्लियोटाइड्स एकत्र येऊन काय बनतो? एक कोडॉन बनतो. दॅट्स व्हाय जेनेटिक कोड इज ट्रिपलेट इन नेचर. द सेकंड प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ जेनेटिक कोड, दैट इज जेनेटिक कोड इज कॉमालेस. जेनेटिक कोड कसा आहे? इट इज कॉमालेस. कॉमालेस मीन्स व्हाट? In between the two codons. Suppose this is a messenger RNA. Okay, this is a messenger RNA which has a polarity 5' to 3' end. Here there are the codon. The initiation codon will be the AUG. Exceptionally there will be the GUG. Will be the exceptionally the initiation codon. So AUG is there, CGU is there, UGC is there, CGA is there. So on, whatever may be. So here this is a one codon. Okay, this is a one codon. Here there is a second codon. So first three nucleotides makes the one codon, second makes the second codon, another three nucleotides makes the third codon. So this is a sequence of codons. So the genetic code is commaless. Commaless means what? In between this first codon and second codon, there is no any comma. There is no any comma, gap, space, or any kind of demarcation in between the two that codons. So that's why the genetic code is commaless. म्हणजे दोन्ही कोडॉन्स मध्ये पहिला दुसरा कोडॉन आहे, दुसरा तिसरा आहे, ह्या कोडॉन्स मध्ये कसल्याही प्रकारचा कॉमा नसतो, गॅप नसतो किंवा स्पेस नसते, और नॉट एनी काइंड ऑफ demarcation. Here the one codon start, here another codon means starts, here another codon ends. So like this one, there is no any kind of demarcation. So that's why the genetic code कसा आहे, commaless. So there is no comma, gap, any space or demarcation in between the two codons. Okay, in between the two codons, म्हणजे दोन कोडॉन्स मध्ये असल्या प्रकारचे कसल्याही प्रकारचं डिमार्केशन नसतं, कॉमा नसतो, गॅप नसतं किंवा कसल्याही प्रकारचं म्हणजे मार्किंग नसतं की हा कोडॉन इथं सुरू होणार आहे, इथं हा संपणार आहे. सो दॅट्स वाय द जेनेटिक कोड इज कॉमालेस. नेक्स्ट वन, देयर इज अ third important property. This genetic code, remember this one, this genetic code is non-overlapping. So non-overlapping means what? Non-overlapping means what? So the nucleotide of one codon, या ठिकाणी तुम्ही इथं पाहून घ्या, the nucleotide of one codon AUG and CGU. So the nucleotide of one codon is not used in the next codon, which means that the nucleotide of one codon does not interfere with the next codon. So that's why genetic code is non-overlapping. And suppose if it is used, so suppose here it is not like this one. Genetic code हा असा असतो, not like this one. So AUG, CGU, UGC, C whatever may be. So the 3 prime. So if there is a one codon AUG, in the second codon the nucleotide of first codons are not used. If it is like this one, it is a overlapping. यातले जर न्यूक्लियोटाइड्स वापरले, हा जो पहिला कोडॉन आहे याचे जर न्यूक्लियोटाइड्स इथं वापरले, so तो काय होणार आहे, ओव्हरलॅपिंग. बट हियर इट डझंट हॅपन. सो जेनेटिक कोड इज नॉन ओव्हरलॅपिंग. आर यू गेटिंग मी? सो दिस वन. नेक्स्ट वन, द फोर्थ वन. So genetic code is, remember this one, genetic code is non-ambiguous. Okay, genetic code कसा आहे? It is non-ambiguous. Okay, what we'll do, we'll revise this one and once again I will write on a separate line. So genetic code basically नीट लक्ष द्या. So first काय की genetic code डॉक्टर हरगोविंद खुराना यांनी क्रॅक केला, यांनी डिस्कवर केला आणि त्याचबरोबर द नेरेनबर्ग, मॅथेई, क्रिक, so many scientists they means supported or they also contributed for their work. And so this genetic code has some properties, in which the first one triplet in nature, which means 3 nucleotides makes the one codon. Second one commaless, that is there is no any kind of comma, gap or space in between the two codons. That's why there is a commaless. Third one non-overlapping, which means the nucleotide of one codon is not used in the next codon. So the genetic code is non-overlapping. There is a small another one I will write this side. There is a universal. Universal means what? This genetic code is universally applicable. It is applicable in the all living organisms. So it is applicable in all living organisms. हा सर्व लिव्हिंग ऑर्गॅनिझम्स मध्ये ऍप्लिकेबल आहे. So it is applicable from unicellular bacteria to the highly evolved eukaryotic human beings. So it is applicable in all living organisms. It is same. So that is genetic code is universal. Okay, I rate हे 4 properties. Then there is a genetic code is non-ambiguous and genetic code is degenerate. So genetic code, what it means? The genetic code, we discussed the few properties of genetic code. So next property of genetic code that we will continue with the next part. That is the genetic code is non-ambiguous. Non-ambiguous. Non-ambiguous means what? The one codon specifies one amino acid. So the specific codon specifies only one amino acid. Only one amino acid. म्हणजे एक codon, one codon encodes to the only one amino acid. So that is there is a one codon there is only one amino acid. Okay, this is simple. But there is an exception. For this, there is a exception. What is this exception, Ray? That is, the GUG is a codon. GUG high codon which specifies the 2 amino acid, which is an exception. When it is an initiation codon, it encodes to the methionine. Okay, it encodes to the which amino acid? Methionine. And when it is not an initiation codon, at that time it encodes to the valine. कुठल्या amino acid ला कोड करतो हा? Valine. So this is an exception. So genetic code is non-ambiguous. Non-ambiguous means what? That specific codon specifies the particular amino acid. Means one codon, one amino acid. But there is an exception, GUG, which encodes to the methionine when it is an initiation codon, and when it is normally seen in the means second, third, any other position, it acts as a normal, means it encodes to the valine amino acid. So then genetic code is non-ambiguous. Then there is a sixth one that is important. Next, that is genetic code is degenerate. So that is a degeneracy of genetic code. Degeneracy of genetic code. हा genetic code कसा आहे? Degenerate आहे. Degenerate आहे म्हणजे काय? Genetic code. Degeneration of genetic code. What it means? So simple. The degeneration of genetic code. That what it means? So this genetic code is degenerate in nature. What it means in? So one amino acid coded by multiple codons, because so there are 20 naturally occurring amino acids. How many amino acids are? 20 naturally occurring amino acids are there. These naturally occurring amino acids are, in which there are total 64 codons are there. How many codons are there? 64 codons are there. Total 64 codons are there, in which there are 61 codons are sense codons, and there are 3 codons are non-sense codons, or the termination codons, or the stop codons, you know. So there are 61 codons which encodes to the how many amino acids? 20 amino acids. Means the one amino acid is encoded by multiple codons. So that is a degeneracy of the genetic code. Okay, next one, the polarity. So the next, that is the next property of this genetic code, that is a polarity. Polarity means what? The genetic code is always read in. Genetic code is always read in 5 prime to the 3 prime direction. हा जो जेनेटिक कोड आहे हा ऑलवेज म्हणजे कुठल्या डायरेक्शनला रीड केला जातो? इट इज ऑलवेज रीड इन 5 प्राइम टू 3 प्राइम डायरेक्शन. नीट लक्षात द्या. Genetic code is always read in 5 prime to 3 prime direction. So this is a polarity of the genetic code. Next one, there is a 8 number. This genetic code shows the codon anticodon. That I already told you, that is codon and anticodon. Codon anticodon property of genetic code. So this genetic code, for example, there is a codon. Codon कुठला आहे? AUG. And then this is a codon. Remember this one. This is a codon. Where it is codon? Codon कुठे असतो? Codon is over the messenger RNA. This is the mRNA codon. Okay. So this mRNA is having the codon AUG. Then tRNA will have the anticodon. tRNA ला काय असतो? Anticodon, which is complementary to this AUG. That is, what is that one? tRNA वर काय असणार आहे? So this tRNA may have, that is A, means what? There is a UAC is the anticodon to this mRNA codon. So like this one, they have the codons and anticodons. So these are the common properties of the genetic code. So genetic code is non-ambiguous. Then degeneracy of the genetic code means genetic code is degenerate. Then polarity, always reading 5 prime to 3 prime direction, and the codon anticodon means pairing. So here non-ambiguous म्हणजे काय? एक कोडॉन एकाच अमायनो ऍसिडला कोड करतो. ओके. त्यानंतर एक्सेप्शन आहे GUG, which encodes methionine and valine, 2 amino acid. Then degeneracy of genetic code. Degeneration मध्ये काय आहे? There is a one amino acid. Remember this one is coded by many codons. So that is a degeneracy of the genetic code. Okay, because actually we have the 20 naturally occurring amino acids in our polypeptide chain, and there are 64 codons, out of which 3 are nonsense codons which do not encode to the any amino acid, UAG, UGA and UAA, and the 61 codons are the sense codons. which encodes to this one. So 61 to the 20 means multiple to the one amino acid. So this is, remember this one. Polarity genetic code कधीही म्हणजे mRNA च्या स्ट्रँडचा 5 प्राइम टू 3 प्राइम डायरेक्शनला रीड केलं होतं आणि त्यानंतर आहे कोडॉन अँटीकोडॉन, mRNA आणि tRNA, mRNA AUG कोडॉन आणि tRNA अँटीकोडॉन USA. म्हणजे या ठिकाणी mRNA जो कोडॉन आहे त्याला कॉम्प्लिमेंटरी tRNA वर काय असणार आहे, अँटीकोडॉन. सो these are the common properties of genetic code. So there is another one property, that is a Hubbell hypothesis. We will see in the next class. Okay, thank you. If you are getting doubt, ask me. Okay.